Yo, what is going on, guys? Here, my name is xBuzzerman, and today I got for you a Clash Royale video. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over the top 5 most overpowered cards in the game right now. Now, currently, this game is actually very balanced. There's no one particular card or a set of particular cards that just engulfs and destroys everyone else. But there are some cards that are commonly used within the most competitive decks all the freaking time. So we're going to go highlight those. Some of them you can get at a very low level. Some of them they take a little bit of effort to actually get. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Comment down below your favorite card right now in Clash Royale. I want to see all of your favorite cards. I might do a little poll and see which one's the most favored or the most popular card in the game right now. Here we go. Let's get started. So to start everything off, we're going to go with the most common card used probably within every deck in Clash Royale. You almost always see a prince, a variant of the prince. I think there's a armored prince or whatever the other prince is called, but a variant of the prince is always in pretty much every deck you see, whether it be in the lower ranks in the Barbarian Bowl all the way up to the really high arenas. You see this card all the freaking time. And the guys who don't use it more than likely just don't have the dang card yet. He's so versatile, he does very good on the offensive side, and he really doesn't have a super high elixir cost. Plus, he's one of the first epics you can get, and at a low level, he's probably the best card at very low levels. Now, he does get a little bit misused when it comes higher in the arenas. The more competitive you get, the less you start to see of the actual prince, just for the fact that there are a lot of counters and people really can find their way around the card itself. So it's not too overpowered, but it is the single-handedly most commonly seen card in the game. For this next one, it probably gives it a close second, and this has to be the Baby Dragon. And the Baby Dragon is the second most seen card in the game, if not the most. I'd say it's between the Prince and the Baby Dragon to be the most seen cards in the game. These at low levels wreck. If you can get both of these cards at a very low level, maybe you're just like a level 3, 4, 5, you can be in very good shape. The Baby Dragon is an air troop and it can deal splash damage, so it is very deadly. It's got a good amount of hit points, and for actual pushing, it's absolutely incredible. Its only downfall, however, is its defense. It's not very good since it does a lot of splash damage. If you're facing a spam deck, yeah, that's good. But if you're facing a big horde of strong troops, then it's probably pretty much a useless card to deploy. That's the same with the Prince too. It's terrible on defense. Now this is the single-handed most seen card in all competitive levels. In competitive levels, I'd say would be the highest arena you can see. And this is what I recommend for everyone to put into their decks at one point, or at least try it out, because it's a very good card. It's a common card too. It's the Barbarians. The Barbarians are so good. They can replace those giants like no other, and for 5 elixir, you get 3 very strong Barbarians. These guys deal a ton of damage and they take a lot of hit points in. So, what's wrong with them? They can't deal with high air troop attacks. But otherwise from that, you can use them on the defensive side very well and offensive side. That's why it is probably the most overpowered card right now, or just the most versatile card right now. It's used in every deck, or 56% of competitive decks, just because of how versatile it is. I don't think it deserves a nerf though. I just think everything else deserves kind of like a buffer around it, or a better counter towards it. Because especially when you get into those Barbarian huts, if someone starts off with a first thing Barbarian hut, you know you're kind of in a hole already. Because they already have that 7 elixir and someone's pushing out Barbarians onto you, and you're just... I hate when someone starts off initially and deploys that Barbarian hut. And I've actually gotten destroyed by someone. I've gotten absolutely mutilated by a guy who was able to deploy 2 Barbarians huts on me. If you can manage to pull off 2 Barbarian huts, you might as well just tell the other guy goodbye. Good game. GG. After this, we're going to go with another common card, and this is the Ice Princess. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's the princess. It's just the princess, not the Ice Princess. She's very good and used in 46% of competitive decks. I haven't seen too much gameplay on her, but what I have seen is she's very strong because she's dealing at ranged attacks. She's the ultimate ranged attack person. She's very versatile for the fact that she can attack ground and air troops, and she can do it at a ranged distance. If you are able to get high enough to where you can get this card, definitely snatch it up because it is a very good pick. Now this troop has been overpowered in Clash of Clans, and it's also overpowered in I just said it. It's overpowered in Hog Rider. It's the Hog Rider. I can't freaking talk right now. Hog Rider! It's overpowered in 2 games, Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. I'd say this is probably the most overpowered one because everyone freaking loves this troop. I mean, this probably wins the most popular troop reward. Just for the fact that every time I go to a clan, that's all people ask for are Hog Rider donations. This guy's very fast. They're very fast. They can jump over the river, and I mean, if you're going in for an all-out push, you're always going to use a Hog Rider. It's just such a good troop for pushing. It's very good offensively. I just think the Hog Rider will always be eternally overpowered. Now, there are some great counters to the Hog Rider, so I wouldn't say it's like this god of a card, but it's just slightly better at offense than a lot of other cards, but it still has their downfalls. So the last card we have is a projectile. It's the arrows. The arrows are very overpowered, not very overpowered right now. They're just used a ton because of how effective they are at dispersing huge spams. If you're in a very bad bind where someone's absolutely just spamming the crap out of you, you know, it's like under a minute, the arrows are perfect for it. They can literally destroy a whole army of troops. They kind of make the wall breaker irrelevant and the giant skeleton semi-irrelevant. I'm not saying those are bad troops at all. I'm saying that the arrows can, in a lot of cases, replace what they do. But there are still good uses for that. So don't accuse me of trying to be like,
oh my god, I think those troops are the worst thing ever.
No, I didn't say that. I just said that the arrows sometimes can replace them. The arrows are very devastating sometimes, especially when you're going in for a huge raid and they use them on you and your huge raid is over, or your huge push is over and you're like it's just such a frustrating feeling when someone uses arrows on me. Now the thing about arrows are though is that that's pretty much the only thing they're effective for. The major downfall to them is that if you're using a kind of like a more powerful army, or you're just using Baby Dragon, Prince, just a lot of high power guys who have lots of hit points, then those arrows aren't going to do much to them. It's going to do a little bit, or arrows aren't very good for sniping like certain towers. I mean, you can't just use arrows on a tower. It's not going to be very effective. Plus, barbarians really aren't affected by them either. They still can be. That's why barbarians are so dang good. But this still is something that is almost essential to put in a lot of decks, especially if you're one that uses very high powered troops. Then using arrows is almost essential, just for the fact that if you're going against a spam account or a spam deck, that is pretty much the only way to get out and give yourself a chance to win. So that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Those are my top 5 most overpowered cards right now. It's a very slim list and it's a very shaky list. So most of these cards aren't super overpowered at all. They're not really even overpowered because they can all be countered in some sort of way. The Barbarians, I'd say, are the most common card you'll see when it comes to overpowered cards. I think they're pretty strong troop. They're a very strong card. The Hog Riders come in close second, and you got your 2 celebrity picks, which are your Baby Dragon, your Prince. Low levels, those are very devastating, and then you have the arrows, which is just the most depressing card in the game. Now, some of these are overpowered in certain ranges and some of them aren't. You know, like the Baby Dragon and the Prince are very overpowered at their respective lower levels, but when the higher you get up in the arenas, the less overpowered they become, just like almost any card. It's a very balanced game, guys. But I just want to tell you, if you're looking for cards to put in your deck or maybe complement a certain style of deck that you're trying to do, these are some of the best cards to go ahead and do so. Whether you're using a lot of beat sticks or spam, you can usually insert one of these selected cards, and it will turn out well for you. That's pretty much it. Like this up. Remember, comment down below your favorite troop or a card in the game right now. That's what I want to hear. I'll see you next time. Later.